Libra, it's a busy month for you. You've got a lot on the go. There's money, there's business, there's work, and there's other people involved. I'm going to break it down for you and we'll have a look, see what the best way through for you is this month. Hi, my name is Finn and this is Magic 7 Tarot. I have done a Magic 7 Tarot spread for your lunar return. So that's when the moon comes back around into Libra and touches either your sun, moon, or your rising sign. And that's the time to set an intention for the month ahead. So we're going to have a look at what's going on now and where that leads to and give you some guidance. I always do these ahead of time so I have a chance to really like sit with it and understand, because there's so many influences here. I don't want to miss anything and I want to give you the best reading possible. Okay, so let's start in the past. In the past, we have the Eight of Coins reversed. Now, the Eight of Coins sometimes means like a lawsuit or some kind of negotiation is definitely indicated. But as it plays into these other cards, I'm going to sort of start to talk about this in terms of financial transactions or that you've in the past you've had to really be persevere through situations that haven't always been in your best interest or didn't work out the best for you. It also indicates some kind of support. So you know this feels like business, work, money to me. Now, whenever I do a general reading, of course, it's going to be different for every single person, every single Libra. If you have the sun, you have the moon, you're going to have a different kind of like variation. So money can be worth, self-worth, the way you feel about yourself. But let me talk about it in the most practical terms, this sort of mundane astrology. Each of these cards has a spiritual interpretation, an astral interpretation, and then, of course, the mundane or the day-to-day interpretation. So it feels to me that you've been in business or work or uh, self-worth, you've had to persevere, and that there's been legal complications, and those legal complications could aren't necessarily against you, but uh, have this image of you signing lots of pieces of paper. I don't know what that means, so let me know if that resonates for you. Um, it also could represent more generally that you've had support in the past, and I'll say this, no matter what cards come up here, the overall kind of feeling is like people support you and the environment supports you. You have people around you that believe in you. So there's all some positive stuff. Again, this is in the past. So let's say in the past, you've had to, there's been complications in your work life or your money life, and it's been a negotiation to get you to the place you are today. Okay, so that's kind of moving out. Okay, but it does set the stage for the present. Okay, and so in the present we have the 10 of coins. Now, whenever I see a 10 card, it means change. So in this case, it could be financial ups and downs. It definitely, has, um, uh, indicates, variance. It might look good and then it doesn't turn out, or it might look bad and then it turns out better in your favor. It is upright, so I don't see it as a very negative card at all. Um, don't get involved in any speculation. That's what I'm. So don't go. You don't want to be a big gambler at this point. Okay, so it does indicate that that could be successful for you, but um, for me, it's more about like progressive gains. And I don't mean the progressive jackpot at the casino. I mean, incremental gains. Okay. Um, Certainly there could be luck here. So, listen, some people enjoy a bit of, sports gambling, for example. And I'm not going to say don't do that. I'm just going to suggest to you don't bet the farm on it. Okay. Especially with this card here. Okay. Um, my preference is that you focus on things that you can control. And in controlling them, you make progressive gains rather than kind of rolling the dice. It's not luck per se. Well, you know what it is? It's either good luck or bad luck. And so that's why I'm recommending that you don't spend your hard earned money speculating. Okay. Uh, if you speculated in the stock market last week, you might not be feeling so great this week. for example. And certainly those kinds of losses could be indicated by this card. So if you are stuck in a position in the stock market, I'm sorry to hear that. Lots of people in the same position. And, uh, the best time to sell, they say, in the stock market is, before it goes down. And sometimes it's better to hold on to things, when they're really low. Don't sell low, you know? Um, it also could just represent generally a new viewpoint. So let's say this is some kind of like separation of some kind of. It feels more businessy, so the end of a situation, and this card, is more of a like a fresh beginning. Okay, you feel good about yourself, and I want you to hold on to that feeling, and so that's why you don't want to like throw it up into the air. You know what I mean? If you're feeling good and you've got some gains, don't throw it away. Hold on to it. Hold on to what you've achieved. It could definitely be some kind of financial gain, though. Okay. And so let's say there was some negotiation in the past. You might be reaping the benefits of that gain. Overall, this is a great month for doing business, getting a new job, expanding your business, launching a new business. All of those things are indicated with a couple of caveats, a couple of like, well, watch out for this. Okay. So perseverance at work in the past, or some kind of financial transactions that lead to, ups and downs financially, or some kind of gain. There could be extra money. Okay. I like, this card feels like, huh, sometimes when the images come, they come all at once. So, I'm picturing you with a big bag of money, and the bag has a hole in it. So, try to sew up the hole in the bag, or, tape it up or something like that. If you have made some kind of gains in the present, hold on to them. That's what it really is saying, right? You might make gains, but it might be hard to like retain them. You know, um, I know sometimes it's that moment where you get a tax return back, and then, suddenly you have to like fix your car. It could be that like money comes in, but money goes out. It's positive though. Okay, Libra. Okay. And I'm going to talk a little bit about your attitude towards this situation as we move forward. But it's not a negative situation here. Uh, Listen, no one wants to lose money, but knowing that you can gain some also. Inventiveness. Okay, do you have a new idea that you think can solve a real problem in the world? Go for it. Okay, anytime you apply your inventiveness or something new to this situation, it's going to change it. And in fact, this is the reading I'm taking today. I'm taking the temperature today. You listen to this, Libra, and you say, wow, I'm really gonna be careful with my money. Okay, that's gonna like slightly detour this reading, right? I am a believer that what you're thinking is what your fate is, and what you're feeling is what your fate is. And so, if you change the way you think or the way you feel, your fate is, the idea that it's determined. I don't believe that. I believe we determine it, but we determine it sort of moment to moment or day to day. So stay positive, even in the face of maybe some kind of downturn. It's not going to be permanent. Okay. In the future, we have the Queen of Coins reversed. Now, in the Brotherhood of Light Tarot, a reverse court card usually means the opposite gender. But in this case, this is the Libra card. So I'm going to say that this is a part of you. And it's the part of you that wants to have a partnership or is forming a partnership. Okay. It's also the part of you, get ready for it, Libra, that has a hard time saying no. Does that ring a bell? Okay. So you might have to say no to keep going. Okay. So don't be wishy washy about this. Okay, Libra? You know, there's a couple of points here where I kept going, stick to your guns, or, like this idea of like you're making a decision and following it all the way through. Okay. Certainly this is, the key word for this is I balance, right? So old and new, ups and downs, right? There's some kind of balance. You come to balance, right? As with a scale, right? If the scale doesn't start balanced, it goes down, it goes up, right? And it kind of finds its center. So that's the same for you. Find your center on this, in however these express. Again, general readings are going to express differently depending on the house, depending on this, on how many planets you have in Libra. You have any other planets? Okay, so just uh, take it as energy. That's what I'm giving out. I'm trying to read the energy so that you can work with that energy. So you have a hard time saying no. Make sure that if you don't want to do something, you say no. Okay, you don't say maybe or I'll see. Okay, hard no. Okay, I want you to stick to your guns on this. Okay. Okay. What you need to control for this circumstance is the Eight of Swords reversed. This is a difficult card. Okay, so it represents limitations. How much you can accomplish on your own, or how much you can accomplish in this present circumstance. Um, Experiences, both positive and negative. Frustrations, especially frustrations with coworkers. Not everyone's going to share your vision, and when things go down, people might be ready to bail. Okay, so you be careful. That not careful, but you're going to feel overworked, and part of the work, it feels to me like you have to convince other people that everything's cool, like everything's going to be okay, that you've got it under control. It's not like everything's going to magically turn out okay. You have it under control. You're managing it. Okay, but certainly this is added responsibility, especially in the workplace. um, Difficulty with coworkers, frustration, limitations. Okay, you're a very balanced person, as we've just said. So, you're going to have to balance everyone else's expectations and the things they're putting on you and the extra responsibility. You're going to have to manage that. One thing that keeps coming up for me here is the word enthusiasm. So, when you hit a roadblock and you're half in, half out on something, wow, that can really deflate you. But if you really believe in yourself, or believe in the circumstance, or believe in the work that you're doing, this could be mitigated quite a bit by being an enthusiastic worker. Okay? Listen, everybody has frustrations. I have frustrations. I was setting up this light and it wouldn't turn down and it was too bright on my face. Right? If I let that get to me, you wouldn't be listening to this now. We'd be stuck on me being mad at the light. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay, if you believe in yourself, which I see here, this is the highest kind of self belief, right? And inventiveness and creativity, not creativity in a make art kind of way, but in a solving problems kind of way. Okay, the more you can be enthusiastic about solving the issues as they present themselves, the more this becomes not an issue. Okay, you're learning your lesson, and one of the lessons is things don't go in a straight line. Things get disrupted, things get frustrated, things get confused, other people don't understand. You have to repeat the instructions. Okay, does any of this resonate for you? It feels really clear to me. Okay, and that's why I place this in the business quarter. I mean, there's lots of ways to interpret these cards, but business, work, money, all of those things are indicated here. Be careful that you don't overwork. Life balance, right? Okay, you got to have a bit of fun too, right? You got to take care of your needs. It's easy when you're enthusiastic or when there's responsibility to just keep working, but that's not going to make it better. Okay, this is the most difficult card in the whole reading. Okay, the Eight of Swords, it represents, coming to terms with your limitations. Okay, you're not just limited, you're kind of recognizing, wow, I have these limitations, I can only do so much. And added responsibility, or being overworked or being disrupted, is going to be make you impatient, and you're not going to feel like yourself if you're given over to this. So the more you can stay enthusiastic, write down the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. Paste them up on your board so you see every day, I'm here. Yeah, oh, if I and take satisfaction in solving the problems, right? I mean, right, this is what makes you a leader. I see leadership here, right? So if you're not the actual leader, maybe you have a boss or someone. I mean, this could be your boss dropping all the work on you. You could be upset about that and irritated, or you could take satisfaction in solving all those problems, in rising to the occasion. Okay? All right. This is the environment, the Seven of Scepters. This is an incredibly positive card for this reading. Okay, you're surrounded by benevolent influences, whether that's, the people that you work with, your family or your friends, or people on the inner, entities on the inner plane who are looking out for you. Sometimes the invisible people, the invisible forces are what come to our aid. This is enthusiasm too. So again, this counters this. The more enthusiasm you can present to this situation, the better off you're going to be. Excuse me. Keep things on an ideal level. In other words, when you're faced with challenges, it's easy to diminish your expectations and bring them down to, survival level. Don't do that. Stay on the ideal level. Stay where you want it actually to go. That's what's going to bring you through this. I will touch on a couple of other points about this. This could be travel for business. Okay, so if you travel at all, this could be traveling for business, but the same kind of ideas. Traveling for business can be an incredibly tiring experience. What do they call it? The road warrior, right? Are you on the road a lot? Is it feeling frustrated? Is that putting a strain on other factors in your life, making it hard to balance things? Definitely. Rely on your own judgment and know that you're protected. Okay? You're steering the ship here. Okay? You're driving the car. You really are in charge. Take charge. Okay? And rely on your own judgment and your own intuition and the direction that you find from yourself that's emanating from you. That's where your success lies here. Okay. What opposes you is Arcanum 6. And in the Brotherhood of Light Tarot, this is called Temptation. The other tarot decks, it's called the Lovers. Temptation. So in your business relationships, this is about sticking to your resolutions. Okay, again, being tempted because of the stress to give up. Okay, so this is saying what opposes you is not taking a firm stand, not sticking to your resolutions, uh, taking things on a superficial level rather than going deep. So don't get stuck. Look beneath the surface of what people's intentions are. I do feel like people really do have your best intentions at heart. So maybe you're misinterpreting people. Okay, so look below the surface and really try to feel out what people are up to. It could be a love affair too that disrupts things. Did you meet someone on that business trip and now you can't stop thinking about them? Oh my gosh. How's that going to help with all this extra responsibility? Holy bananas, as we say around here. Okay? Stick to your resolutions, stick to your guns, trust yourself above everyone else in this situation. And don't believe that people are out to get you. I don't really think they are in this case. Okay? Okay. And how this resolves is the Eight of Scepters. So we had 3 eights here. That's business, 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 business. And Eight of Scepters is legal stuff. Okay. So if you had some legal transactions in the past, that's going to resolve by the end of this month. If it was, this could represent divorce or alimony. So this looks like it works out in your favor if that was the case. It definitely indicates responsibility, business responsibility, and again comes back to your own judgment as being the touchstone here. Trust yourself. I'm going to say that that's the whole title of this reading is Trust Yourself. Okay, Libra? Because you really do know where you're going and what you want. Okay, and this could be new influences. There is this idea of new stuff coming in. Okay, this isn't stagnant at all. Okay, it seems to me as you handle this that you gain confidence, and that confidence is success. Calms down by the end of the month. The chaos starts to calm. Okay. I like this reading a lot. I'm going to pull a couple other cards for you just to see if we can get some clarity and to give you a bit of inspiration. So these are the wild unknown archetype cards. I like to pull one of those as a archetype that you could drop in here. I have so many images. You know, this temptation. It feels like you know, at some point here, it feels like you might want to give up. And I really want you to never give up this month about any of these things that you believe in. Whatever you believe in, okay? It's really good stuff. I think that you can grow. You're going to grow. You're going to meet the challenge. You're going to take on the new responsibilities, and it's going to get better for you from here. Okay. Eternal Spirit, can we give Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising an archetype for them to drop in this month to help them on their journey? Desire to know the truth for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. Eternal Spirit, what is the archetype for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, for the best for themselves, the world, and the universe? Desire to know the truth for Libra. If you like what I'm doing here, I appreciate a like or a comment or subscription. Still getting going. This is maybe the 4th Libra reading. I hope it's resonating for you. Let me know. And if it isn't resonating for you, let me know too, because that helps me clarify what I'm doing for everyone involved. Okay, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, I desire to know the truth. I really appreciate you watching today. Okay, what did we get? Ooh, the Creator. Libra, I really think that there's something breaking out here for you, and it's going to feel hard at first, but stick with it. Okay, let's find the Creator and read that and give you something you can drop in. The Creator, the first archetype in the trio of existence, is not intimidated by darkness or lack. Do not be intimidated. They know that from the void, creation inevitably emerges with meager, minimal, and outlandish materials. Emerges. With meager, minimal, and outlandish materials, the Creator reveals a new image. They make the empty room resonate with healing sounds. They generate bounty from the seed that others tossed away. This is your inventiveness. Though generative, this archetype annihilates preconceived notions of what is possible, leaving unexpected openings in the wake of its destruction. Unexpected openings. The Creator does this first by being absolutely present to what is. Okay? Absolutely present to what is. Okay? Present. Present. Not imagining or wishing things were different, right? Stick with the reality, even though it's challenging. And second, trusting that a force greater than themselves awaits constant collaboration with each human soul, whether we call it nature, God, goddess, Shakti, or divinity, it remains nameless. It is the Creator's lifelong companion. Curious, playful, open, and surprising. Wow, that really resonates, for this reading. These new influences coming in. Your enthusiasm is everything here. Okay, that's what you're creating out of here, from my point of view. And so maintaining that enthusiasm even when it gets hard this month. Okay, and you're going to have challenges. You're going to be tested, and sometimes the best things in life take a bit of challenge, right? It's kind of like you get tested, and being tested is the way you understand that it's important to you and valuable to you. Okay. Let's give one more card here, a Sacred Destiny Oracle card for Libra. Desire to know the truth. Let's give Libra some inspiration. Spirit. Desire to know the truth for Libra. This reading has really been interesting for me. I mean, I love all of the readings I do, I have to tell you, but there's something about this one that really resonates for me personally. This idea of, you know, through the difficulty, through the perseverance, right? Even with changes and extra responsibility, that because you're enthusiastic about something, you make it happen. Desire to know the truth. Some inspiration for Libra. We'll shuffle one more. Oop. One more shuffle, one more cut. We'll pull a card. Libra. I desire to know the truth for Libra. Embracing. Okay. Libra, it's time to embrace the parts of yourself that know where you're going, right? And I love this card. Let me just show it to you again. Okay. Embracing. Sometimes life overflows with emotion, which can feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel hard, for sure. You're going to have those moments. However, the ensuing result of this discomfort can be of great value, perhaps arising from an unseen or unknown source. That keeps coming back. Do you pray, Libra? Do you meditate? Right? Do you record your dreams? All of those things I would recommend to you this month as you fine tune your vision. You get this card when emotions are seemingly overflowing or not flowing at all. You might be a bit, feel like you might feel so overwhelmed that you're not feeling at all. So this is asking you to connect to your feelings, right? Cherish the overflow of emotions and embrace the times that seem murky, for your inner floodplain is being replenished. And as a result, there will be great spiritual and physical expansion. Embrace all of your emotions when you do so. Greater prosperity and fertility will flow into your life. There's definitely greater prosperity here, right? It's almost like you're fine-tuning your plan and moving forward to it. Alternatively, if your emotions have been blocked, this is the time to explore and experience them. Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I say emotions, I'm going to go back to that word enthusiasms. What's the part of you that's on fire right now that wants to achieve something? And what is that thing? And I want you to hold that firm in your mind. I mean, you are the creator here, Libra, right? You're in charge of where this is all going. And whether you're running a team of 100 people or 500 people or 2 people, or you just have a couple of dogs that don't want to get walked or something. I mean, you're in charge. You're running the show. And I want you to feel that power that comes with it and the enthusiasm that comes with it. And of course, as we've heard before, with great power comes great responsibility, and you're going to feel that too. Okay? Don't let it crush you. Okay? And don't be tempted to give up. You may be tempted to give up. Don't give up. Okay? Stand firm with what you believe to be true. Libra, I can't wait to hear how this month goes for you, and I'm on your side cheering. In a couple of weeks, I'll check in and we'll do a mid-month update and give you another little fine-tune your direction. And meanwhile, I hope it all works out incredibly well for you. Have a great month, Libra. I love you. Peace.